And then some women are prone to heart diseases because initially the estrogen was protective of the heart, but now it is reduced, so they are more prone to diseases of the heart, of the cardiovascular system.
Every woman has different symptoms. Hence why I think also it's very difficult for maybe the doctors to actually come and say, collect the data and say, okay, this is what you're going to expect. Maybe not. I may not get hot flashes, but my friend will get hot flashes from the age of maybe 40, right? Or as she said, some people start menopause much later, 55 plus. Another one got that at 49. So it's very erratic, right?
Ensure your foods are also balanced as per usual. Ensure you're getting vegetables, you're getting your whole grains, and you're getting your proteins. But in terms of proteins, let it be lean protein. Let's not focus on having the fatty meat, fatty kind of chicken.
You can give that to the husband. I'll polish it off.
Are we not trying to age together?
And remember, there's also a case for a reason for prostate cancer, and it's red meat. You shouldn't be taking red meat at that age.
We're focusing on the lady. Let's.
You want to eat.
Welcome to the Med Squad podcast. Now you've heard of this lady, Miranda Priestley. Yes, she has fashion sense.
And yes, she wears Prada. But why was she called the devil?
So we're going to talk about whether that's just something that came up in someone's mind, or is there some truth to it? Of course, on the Med Squad podcast, as we talk about menopause unmasked, what every woman should know, I have some ladies here who are going to help us know what we need to know. And I'll ask you to introduce yourselves from my left.
All right, my name is Dr. Kelechi Okoro, also known as the Health Attainer. I am a public health advocate and a strong voice for sexual and reproductive health, especially women's health and rights.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cynthia, and I'm a nutritionist. I'm here to share information that you need to learn about menopause. So let's learn together.
Okay, my name is Eva Warohio, and I am VP Women Health at Zuri Health. And I'm passionate about women, and I'm really looking forward to just discussing menopause and the misconceptions about menopause, and just celebrate the woman.
All right, welcome all. Let's get the basics out of the way. We go 101. What is menopause, and is it different from perimenopause? Are there other suffixes and that you add to menopause what is menopause?
All right, menopause is when a woman stops seeing her period, right? And before you say a woman has attained menopause, she must have stopped seeing her period for 12 consecutive months, not off and on, but for 12 months straight up, she has not seen her, she has not gotten a period, right? It's no spotting, nothing, but she hasn't gotten a complete period in 12 months. And usually it starts around 45 to 55 years old, around the ages of 45 to 55.
Yes.
But that's just the menopause stage. But these changes start earlier than this, right? And why does this happen? Around that age, the woman stops producing, the ovaries stop producing
The
eggs.
yeah.
Oh, you know this already. Right?
Not all of it.
A woman rapper. All right, so it's good that you know it, okay? Because we want men to be involved in women's health.
Yes.
So the ovaries stop producing, they reduce their production of eggs, and then this really affects two key hormones, and that's the estrogen and the progesterone. And estrogen and progesterone, they are the hormones responsible for reproductive health.
Yes.
Okay, they're the hormones responsible for periods, hormone responsible for all of that happens, because these hormones, they reduce unevenly, they are produced unevenly, so there is a cascade of emotional and physical, disruption, right? Your man starts feeling symptoms like hot flashes, irritability, poor sleep, insomnia, mood swings, they start feeling bone pain because these hormones are also responsible for some of these things. And then some women are prone to heart diseases because initially the estrogen, was protective of the heart, but now it is reduced, so they are more prone to diseases of the heart, of the cardiovascular system, right? They're also prone to things like brain fog. They start forgetting their things, start forgetting their words, and they start getting very forgetful and just, generally not put together. Okay, so the symptoms are a lot. And then, but also we need to talk about the fact that menopause is not just, it's not a disease where it's being talked about like it's a disease. But this woman is suffering from something she doesn't even know about, or she was not prepared for. You know, women or girls are not even prepared enough for puberty, pregnancy, contraception. And then there's this silent era called the menopause. Some women don't even want to think about it. They heard of it, but they don't want to think about it. But every woman will definitely get to menopause, right? So, and then no woman is just going to jump into the menopausal era. So there's the perimenopausal era, which starts with, you know, reduction in flow, reduction in frequency of your periods. You might see your period today, this month, and after 2 months, you don't see it until the third month, or it becomes heavier, or it becomes lighter. You know, your periods just start having a different character, right? And on social media these days, I've seen it several times. All of women are now talking, have you noticed that your period is now changing? And they're happy about it. Thank God I don't have to see my period every month. But they're not talking about what exactly is happening. It could be that it's a perimenopausal area, or the perimenopausal period that they're experiencing. It could be as a result of, you know, some other underlying condition. But if a lot of women within a certain age group, that's the late 30s, you know, early 40s, they're not beginning to, and they're happy about it. Oh, my period is not coming as often as it should, because some people's periods are very stressful. So it could be the perimenopausal period, and that is what heralds the menopausal period. Yes. So this happens just before the menopause starts. And
So Cynthia, as I'm thinking, I'm hearing this is every woman going to go through it at some point. And so there's an inevitability that comes with it. So then why is it still whispered? Why is there still some kind of stigma over the menopause?
Because first and foremost, it's a phase that people haven't really understood, like Dr. Kelechi said. So it's something that women need to be aware and talk to each other. Let's have a conversation. Be like, if you're going through something, like, let's talk about it, express ourselves, and get to learn. Also, there's technology where you can actually search for information and learn. You can ask your fellow doctors, colleagues, even friends. I'm not sure if you're able to ask your parents, because Africa is different. But yeah. So in terms of the stigma, it's something that we, as now the women in ourselves, need to step out of that box, open it up, and be like, you know, this is something we are the ones who are supposed to change it. Let me talk about it. Let me give information outside there, so that when someone else is getting to that phase, at least they're aware of what I can expect. Even if it won't be exactly the same as you're explaining, but they'll be aware, like, hot flashes, this is what I'll be getting. So I can counteract with something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if in this journey, maybe the reason I don't feel the need to talk about it and is it's until I experience it. And then when experiencing it, it's an interruption that I'm experiencing in my life flow, my life routine. So is there data that kind of reveals this, or talks about how life flow interrupted?
So as a woman, there's certain things you expect it to happen to every woman, right? So during perimenopause, when you're just approaching now menopause, you see the signs. For example, your periods start becoming a bit erratic, or you start having months where you're spotting another month that there's a high flow, right? So you start knowing something is happening in my body. There's some changes that are happening. But I feel also women today are more empowered, right? So they're talking about it. Our mothers, I don't think they ever talked about it. I mean, we didn't know when it was happening. But now women are more open. They talk about hot flashes. You see them walking around with those things that look like, what are they called? They're fans, actually. But actually, the first time I saw them, I thought, hey, why are all the women having headphones? Right? It's not headphones, but it's okay. And they're walking around with it proudly, right? So, I mean, just to answer to your question is that the more information that is out there, then women are able to embrace it. Then there are communities, as Cynthia said, people talk among their friends, right? And so in terms of data, we don't have actual data, but what we can say is that you will see different behavior will have changes in this woman, for example. So I'll just give an example. So this woman has maybe had, she didn't sleep, insomnia at night, right? And she has to come to work the following morning. So you can see that maybe she'll be more irritable, right? She will, for example, not very productive, right? So how do we extend grace to this person, right? How can we empower her so that she can be more productive? What can she take, for example, for her insomnia, right? And I'm sure Cynthia will talk about that when it comes to diet and nutrition, right? Then the other things like brain fog, it's real. You enter a room and you're like, what was I coming here for? You know? But there's nothing to be embarrassed about it, you know? You enter a room and I'm trying to remember doctor. I'm like, doctor, who are you? You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's a true story. So also what that does is for a woman, her self-confidence, goes down because she's like, what is happening to my body? So for me, it's, when I look at it in terms of data is that, I don't think I have the data right now, but what we know that the symptoms are there, but how do we make sure that these women are able to go through these symptoms gracefully, right? And let's give them grace when they're going through it. So there shouldn't be any stigma around it, but should be celebrated. She's blooming. Yes. Right? She's a very wise woman. She has gone through having kids, bringing up her children, her family, etc. She's actually blooming, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay, so let me just say something about data. How do you expect to have, data when it's been a silent topic for a while? When women are experiencing symptoms that they do not even know are associated with menopause. Yeah. Even sometimes the doctor doesn't know that the symptom is associated with menopause. And that's why it's very important that doctors, caregivers, professionals who see women every day, day-to-day activities, they need to seek, they need to intentionally, find more information about menopause and how it affects women. For example, there's this thing called burning tongue syndrome, right? You come to a doctor and you say your tongue is burning. The first thing I would think of won't be menopause.
You ate chili.
I mean, and a lot of times, women go to see doctors and they say, oh, don't worry, you're okay. You're just under stress. Maybe your children are disturbing you. Maybe your husband is, asking just go home and rest. Yeah. But if you just taking a rest will not replace the estrogen withdrawal. Yeah. Just taking a rest will not solve the underlying problem. Just taking a rest would not even help you because you do not even know why you need to take a rest. You do not even know the reason why you're having the burning tongue syndrome. Yeah. You don't know why all of a sudden you start having allergies. See, it's a new era that's like please answer mentioning Dr.
Eva.
Okay. It's a new era like Eva said, but it's an era that if you're not informed, instead of enjoying the bloom, it starts suppressing you. Yeah. So it's either good or bad, but information will make the big change. So if you do not even know what you're going through, how are you supposed to bloom, right? And all of a sudden you start having allergies. You're not allergic to things before, and now you're allergic to things. So the doctor will just prescribe antihistamines for you. But the underlying problem is the estrogen withdrawal, the estrogen depletion. So you haven't solved any problem. Yeah. So how do you even have data when women cannot say, okay, for example, there are conditions like hyperthyroid, overactive thyroid that can give you the same hot flushes, that can give you all those symptoms that menopause gives. And if you go to a doctor, the doctor might just categorize it as, hyperactive thyroid. Or even you're going to see an endocrinologist. Because you think that, I need to check my thyroid hormones, right? But nobody's checking for the estrogen, the follicular stimulating hormone, the progesterone, because when you come to a doctor, the doctor has something. Because I see a woman or I see a woman, she's giving me these symptoms, and I'm asking questions, and maybe she hasn't gotten to the point of menopause. Yes. Why would a 33-year-old woman come to me, or a 35-year-old man come to me, or a 37 or 40-year-old man, and I'm thinking menopause? Yeah. That would be my first thought. But remember, perimenopausal heralds menopause. Yes. So even as doctors, we need to start thinking and giving that room to include, conditions like menopause, so that we can give our patients or we can give our woman a very good experience and diagnosis. Yes. Yes.
So now, Cynthia, what I'm hearing is there needs to be a lot of, so we don't have data or it's scanty. So we need to have this data. Are there digital tools that can help you identify it apart from Dr. Google? Yes, of course, Dr. Google has issues sometimes.
Well, generally, I know there are people who are creating apps where you can track. Maybe you see how we have period trackers. So people are creating trackers for now the menopause side, where you can be able to log in your symptoms, whatever you're feeling. I'm pretty sure there are communities also in there where you're able to speak to them and gather that information. So yes, it's not really out there, but it's something that's starting to come up.
Okay.
Maybe let me interrupt her a
Now,
little
if
bit.
I would come in, you're talking about flat.
Yes. And it's true, right? So right now at Zuri Health, we have actually developed a platform, a women health platform for menopause under Petals, right? What is Petals? So Petals is a digital platform where women can access all the information they need about, their sexual health, reproductive health. So for menopause, it's the same thing. So we have a tracker where a woman is actually able to track her mood, her meal, track the foods that she's eaten. So her meal plans. She's able to her activities, etc. And what that does is that we're able then to say, Eva, when I walk, this is the effect, all right? Or when I eat a certain food, this is how I feel. Or when I drink something, I'm not able to sleep. So that kind of tracking also helps as a woman to empower her. So by the time she's coming to see Cynthia, for example, who's a nutritionist, she's like, oh my God, when I eat oats, I actually get hot flashes. So we need to eliminate maybe oats from our meal plan, right? Or I'm not sleeping at night, so what do I need to take? Do I need to take more magnesium supplements? Do I need to take just herbal teas, and which herbal teas? So what we are doing is that we are giving women the power to be able to manage herself through this process. And there's something else that you said. Every woman has different symptoms. Hence why I think also it's very difficult for maybe the doctors to actually come and say, collect the data and say, okay, this is what you're going to expect. Maybe not. I may not get hot flashes, but my friend will get hot flashes from the age of maybe 40, right? Or as she said, some people start menopause much later, 55 plus. Another one got that at 49. So it's very erratic, right? So what we're just trying to do is empower the woman to be able to understand the symptoms that she's facing and how she can be able to overcome them either through medicine, through herbal remedies, whichever they are. But of course, again, I always put quotes in herbal, whatever, because unless your nutritionist or your doctor has proposed that, don't go picking things from Google because they can also have harmful effects, right? So so for us, what we're just doing under Petals is just making sure that there's a tool out there for women to be able to, to use it, to be able to just manage this process called menopause or perimenopause.
Okay, yes, so it's talking about not just going to Dr. Google. He's just removed the doctor from Google because Google is a lot of not a doctor, not even a doctor. So instead of just going for herbals or nutrition supplements or whatever it is, because you've Googled and they say, oh, eat estrogen foods. Remember that there are some cancers that are fueled by estrogen, right? So like breast cancer, the more you have estrogen, the more. So if you already have a growth or you already have a cancer, and then you are approaching menopause, right? And because Dr. Google has said, okay, let's say Uncle Google has said or Auntie Google has said that you need more estrogen to support, yourself so that you do not get those extreme menopausal symptoms. But if you go and start using so much estrogen replacement or eating foods that increase your estrogen, for example, in Nigeria, and I'm sure in some African countries, there's a particular yam that is very high on the estrogen level is very high. And that's why in an area, there's a Yoruba community in Nigeria that they have twins. In every household, it is like everybody is a twin. They give birth to twins, and it can be attributed to a particular yam that they eat and a particular leaf that they use for their soup. So if you're saying, a doctor has Auntie Google has said estrogen replacement will help you to manage your menopausal symptoms. Now, how have you considered that maybe you I don't know, have you even considered that it can cause overgrowth of any tumor that you have, any tumor that survives on estrogen? That's why you can't independently take information. Information can be a good thing or it can kill you. So it is the doctor, it is the nutritionist who now individualizes your treatment and say, okay, you're a candidate for hormone estrogen replacement and you're not. So in the process of trying to solve one problem, let's not on our own, add extra problem to our lives.
All right.
Exactly, yes. And then talking about the estrogen also, there's a symptom I did not mention.
Yeah.
Vaginal dryness. There's been this myth that, older women are tighter. For the man,
What?
older women's vagina is tighter.
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
I've heard that.
Have you heard that?
I've
Do you
heard it.
believe that? Have you experienced
I
that?
do not know.
Look me in the eyes.
I look. Yeah.
Have you heard that and have you experienced that?
I experienced from where, but
All right, so
Without that.
yeah, so there's vaginal tightness. There's vaginal. It's not tightness. It's vaginal dryness.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's as a result of the low estrogen.
Yes.
Okay, and then for the man, maybe the man enjoys the tightness because sometimes I don't know what men really want. They don't want you to be too tight. They want you to be a little bit lubricated. Some people want you to be over lubricated. So when you're over lubricated, they say you are too wide. You're too. So I don't know exactly what
Different
men.
men have different.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So for the women who now have low estrogen, they experience vaginal dryness. So what it does is that it reduces sensation there,
Yeah.
and it also reduces their appetite for sex.
It does.
So it reduces their libido, it reduces their appetite for sex. So imagine being in that era and you're dealing with this and you do not know why you are dealing with it. So what it does, it completely removes, it removes that sexual appetite. But if you know that this is the reason why I'm experiencing it, there are a lot of therapies you can use, right? Like the estrogen-rich foods, water-rich foods to improve lubrication. But estrogen is the problem, not the water, right? So it has to be the estrogen-rich foods. And also there are estrogen rings, estrogen creams. Apt attention, I like that. Yes, there's supplements, and then there are creams, that you can put, you can topically apply into the vagina. So that's why information is very important because now women at that age can still enjoy, their sexual,
Activities, they can,
activities.
yeah, because there's even an identity that can be linked to that. Imagine, let's say you're married, and all this time you've been enjoying and everything, and hey, your husband looks forward to this, then suddenly not interested, or
Exactly.
so that also affects.
Relationships and marriages.
Yes.
And I think what she has brought up is very important. So that's why even couple counseling is very important. Because even this woman doesn't know what is happening. And if they don't talk about it, then of course, then that excitement gets lost in the marriage. So I think what we're trying to do is trying to also empower, as she says, both the men and the women, what this woman is going through. Why is she irritable? Why is she
Irritable.
What the woman is going through.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why these men will.
So why is she irritable? She even herself, she doesn't even know why she's irritable. All she just knows is that every small thing she's very sensitive about. Please don't tell her that she's fat now. Because that will because she already knows that I'm adding weight and I don't know why I'm adding weight as much as I've been exercising. So she's very sensitive about certain things, right? Of course, you're saying low libido, right? What does she doesn't know probably what she knows that she wants it, but she doesn't feel like it. So how do they have that conversation either with a husband or with a partner, right? So that sensitivity and that information is very important for both the men and the women so that she can go through this thing gracefully, right?
Well, you're on the Med Squad podcast, and this conversation is getting heated, not as hot flashes. In the break, they're going to slap me for saying that. But on the Med Squad podcast, when we come back, we'll talk about actually managing menopause. How do you make Miranda Priestley happy? Stick around. Hey there, welcome to Zuri Health HQ, where Africa's finest medical minds meet modern care. I'm Yafesi, your host on the Med Squad.
Care is personal. It's not just diagnosis, it's direction. From a cough to managing chronic illness, we listen and we lead.
Every symptom has a story. We listen, explain, and act together.
Nutrition is not just about food. It's fuel, it's healing, it's prevention. We help you eat with purpose, for energy, for recovery, and for lifelong health.
We are not just lab coats, we are detectives, and your blood speaks and it reflects.
Your mental health is not a luxury. It's your health, period. Whether it's trauma, depression, anxiety, or even wanting to speak to someone, we are here for you.
At Zuri Health, collaboration is our strongest prescription. We connect expertise across Africa to deliver care that is smart, affordable, and people first.
This is the Med Squad. Real conversations, real health, real people.
From your inbox to your bedside, we're with you.
Welcome back to the Med Squad podcast. Hey, now, in this particular case, I should call it the Women's Squad podcast as we talk about what women need to know when it comes to dealing with menopause. Now, I was going to talk about managing it, but there's something that keeps occurring to me. How would you like men to engage or interact with someone who's going through menopause? Because if she doesn't know what she's going through, I sure do not know what she's going through. And so sometimes it's too common. A lot of men who are married to someone in their 40s and 50s goes looking for someone younger because they think, this drama, I cannot deal with it.
Okay, so before I answer that question, I'd just like to pick a rose from your bouquet. The last thing you said, right? Sure. So yes, you talked about the weight gain that comes with menopause, and it can be attributed to the estrogen reduction because now you have poor metabolism. You cannot, no matter how you try, you can't lose weight as much or as fast as the woman who has not gotten to menopause. So now gets back to what you mentioned. Some men start seeing their women as fat. Okay? I mean, because even in the African context, we see it with our parents. Earlier in their years, the active years, they were skinny. You can see how lovely Cynthia and Eva looks, right? And then one day you just see that your mother is getting fat, right? Not because she has started eating too much, but she just starts getting fat. And that's when they start trying to, take all those little steps that they do. But I wouldn't say it's late because every step counts. But if they had known that when they get to this point of their life, it'd be hard for them to lose weight, then they would have started early. So as a partner, some men go to the gym without their partners. Some men prioritize their wellness and their physical fitness
Above that of their partners.
As outside of their partner. So as a partner, the reason for marriage is not just for childbirth, it's for companionship, it's for, for growth, it's for old age. The honeymoon phase, all those parts, that's just the little part of it. When you get old, you need to get old together, right? So at that point, you need to remind your partner that this is because your man might not have the knowledge, and you do. For example, now after this podcast, you are very equipped with new information that you can help your wife with. So she might not know what she's going through. Some mornings she wakes up and then she's the devil in Prada, or maybe the devil in Kente, or what's the local material, right? And then she doesn't know why. But if you tell, so what some men do, they want to go aura for aura. You're being irritable, you're being moody, and then I'm going to give you the same. But if you know, like, relax, my darling, this is the reason why. And then she's like, have you ever seen a woman who is shouting and then you're not shouting back? She would keep quiet. She would like, okay, maybe I'm the mad person here. You understand? So when a woman is like, we're not trying to excuse bad behavior because some are outright bad behavior. But when you have an idea that, okay, maybe this is the reason why she's behaving like this, and you tell her, you remind her, she can take some steps backward, and then you start having a better relationship, right? So if you already know these things, you can help her to understand, and then get her to get, sexual health therapy, get her to see a gynecologist, get her to see a psychologist if needed, and then you guys can do it together. So it is not for those who are married, it is not a journey for just the woman. It's a journey for the couple, because when you took your vows, you vowed that it was, till death do you part.
Sickness and in health, everything.
Exactly. But for the single women, that's why we have the sisterhood. That's why we have a platform like Petals, where you come online, you can talk to a doctor, you can talk to a therapist, you can talk. See, when it comes to menopause, right? The sisterhood is more important than the doctor. So the doctor is just looking into the sisterhood, or the app or the AI is looking into the sisterhood and then picking up new trends, picking up new patterns, and then using that information to better serve the sisterhood. So when it comes to menopause, When it comes to menopause, the sisterhood is queen.
Yes.
To
Now,
also crutch on what Dr. Kelechi was saying, from the partner's perspective, right? I always say communication is key to everything.
Yes.
Communication and comprehension. Let's also give our partners grace.
Yeah.
I know, like as she mentioned, the brain fog thing, you might be like, nowadays you're forgetting things too much. What's happening to you? Give them grace. Walk them through that path. Affirm them. And also tell them it's gonna be okay, because it's a phase where even in as much as it's hard that's going through it, you're walking with her through the journey.
can you walk with her with a box of chocolates?
Of course, yes. I mean,
Flowers.
please.
Yes. So we add the chocolates.
Affirm.
Which now brings me to also nutrition, the nutrition aspect. So apart from the chocolate, what should a woman in menopause be thinking?
All right. As Dr. Kelechi has mentioned, it's very individualized. So once you already establish that things are working okay in your body, the first things are usually phytoestrogens. They come from plants. They usually mimic estrogen from our body.
Yeah.
So we get them from lentils, we get them from tofu. So those are the things that actually help to increase estrogen in a woman's body. So at least it helps to mitigate certain symptoms such as hot flashes and things that most women usually go through during menopause. Another thing, as per usually talk about not taking too much refined carbs. So in that you're taking whole grain foods.
Yeah.
Ensure your foods are also balanced as per usual. Ensure you're getting vegetables, you're getting your whole grains, and you're getting your proteins. But in terms of proteins, let it be lean protein. Let's not focus on having the fatty meat, fatty kind of chicken.
You can give that to the husband. I'll polish it off.
Are we not trying to age together?
And remember, there's also a case for a reason for prostate cancer, and it's red meat. You shouldn't be taking red meat at that age.
We're focusing on the lady. Let's
You want to eat don't touch his meat. Yamachoma. You want to eat lots of yamachoma.
whole grains, you were saying.
And we're trying to age together. Please, and thank you. So yes, don't consume excess red meat. Focus more on the white meats. It's way better generally, even for your heart. Let's also improve on the, let's say, omega-3 fatty acids. You find that in salmon, in sardines, are very good. And also once you start noticing during menopause, there's bone loss, leads to osteoporosis, right? So this is where now we start telling women, increase your calcium and vitamin D intake. I know you'll ask, vitamin D from where?
The sun.
Exactly.
Yes.
When it's just rising. Yeah, just go bask in the sun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually very good. For those who are not able to do that, that's why there's usually supplementation. That's under the doctor's, obviously, protocol, and they've been told to do that. Having calcium from your diet also is very good. Apart from that, you can also supplement, because as you start going through this phase and aging, slow metabolism, absorption also reduces. So in as much as, yes, you're getting from food, you're not really getting enough. So you might as well supplement.
Yeah.
Because you also don't want to start getting bone loss. You just trip a little bit, your ankle is broken. Now you'll still need that supplementation to get your bone to go back to how it was before. So yeah.
And so before that, you talked about chocolates. The chocolates we have everywhere is just refined sugar and maybe coloring that makes it black. So we need to be clear that the kind of chocolate that you need
is
the dark chocolate, the healthy one that has,
70% cocoa.
Yeah, chocolate, not, the ones that are being refurbished and then because I had to mention that because refined sugars is very bad for, women around this age. It's very bad for everybody.
Yes.
So don't wait till you're around this age, to start refraining from refined sugar, white sugar, brown sugar, any color of sugar. As long as it is refined sugar, it is bad for you because it affects your mood. It affects your mood. And then you're already during the menopausal period, you're already dealing with mood swings. You're already dealing with irritability, so it's very important that you stay away from, sugars. Other triggers are alcohol, bad for insomnia.
Yeah.
Alcohol is bad for insomnia. Spicy foods, alcohol, spicy foods. What else? Caffeine. So have you noticed that when women start getting older or when they are around perimenopausal or menopausal era, they just, forgive my French, they no longer give a fuck. Now it's like they're wiser. Now that's when they remember that, I am beyond my children. I am beyond just my husband. I am a woman. And they start picking up activities that they initially have abandoned because of their family or whatever. It's actually biological, it's chemical.
Yeah.
Because
Don't
during
care
this
anymore.
period, the estrogen is the nurturing hormone, and now it's reducing. It's reducing. So all of a sudden, in those days when you bring food to your husband, he's angry with you and doesn't eat it.
Yeah.
During this period,
You're not eating.
you're not eating. No problem. Your children are giving you stress. Then women start thinking more about themselves. And what happens is that the traditional African woman starts feeling guilty. So during this era of estrogen depletion, they're no longer people pleasers. They're no longer, they prioritize their peace of mind.
Yeah.
And it's why, in marriages, the early stage of marriage, the woman is always complaining about something, complaining about trying to please. And then it gets to a point, anything you do, now your business. Because now,
Is that why grandmothers are so lenient?
exactly. Imagine a grandmother that you would not bring. You can never get pregnant in my house. You can never have a boyfriend. And all of a sudden, I say, "Oh, where is your boyfriend now?" And then they forgive, the excesses of teenagers, right? And then you see, have you seen on social media a group of older women that are going to the Bahamas? They're going to the islands. They form a fun girl group, and they're just going because now they're trying to please themselves, and that's women who are self-aware, women who have the information. For other women, especially African women, they become a shadow of themselves.
Oh wow! So Eva, for what would you what advice would you give for someone who is either approaching 40 or is 40 or whatever age they are already experiencing menopause? What would you advise them to start doing at least today?
Okay. So menopause is inevitable, right? For every woman. We hope that we can get to that age where we'll experience it, right? Yeah. So I think in your early 30s and 40s, start taking care of yourself. I think diet is very important. Fitness is very important. Lift weights. One of the things that we're always told as women is that to lift weights because you will thank yourself in your 70s and 80s when your bones are a bit more brittle, right? So lift weights. Other things that you need to do, love yourself. Love yourself and take care of yourself because when you take care of yourself and you love yourself, you're even able to spread that nurturing spirit or, to your family and to your friends. So for me as a woman who is in their 40s, approaching 50s, is that this thing, we should celebrate each other. And then the community is very important. Your girlfriends, you'll do this together. You laugh about it actually. And that's what we do right now. When somebody's talking about those hilarious stories of how she did not sleep or she woke up and the bed sheets were all wet because we laugh because it is what it is, right? But also the other thing is like let the community and the people around you know what you're experiencing, right? Make it a family thing, right? Oh, mommy's just going through one of those days, moving on, And it's true. So I think for me it is women at this stage and especially menopause stage and what we say at Zuri Health and under the Petals platform is that we are blooming, right? And so we even have a community group where you can get access to an OBGYN, so you can talk to an OBGYN, you can talk to a nutritionist, you can talk to a mental health specialist, because also we find that during this stage, we have a lot of issues with anxiety, depression, right? So you can be able to talk to somebody about that.